Assalamualaikum, my brothers, my sisters, my fathers, my mothers, grandfathers and grandmothers, grandchildren, my children all over the world, my friends, women or men. I am your beloved brother from Indonesia. I am loving you. I keep loving you. I'm inviting you to become more genius, more intelligent, smarter. Only this kind of people will be meeting their maker, their God, their sustainer, their creator. Allah is our God. In this universe, Allah is beginning everything. He has begun himself. He has existed himself. And then he began creating everything, included you and me, man and woman, people around the world, human beings, genies as well, invisible creature like man. For what? He has created us for worshipping Allah, not worshipping this world and the content of the world. He has created us to worship nothing and nobody but only Allah. So do not worship anybody, anything. Beside Allah. Allah has sustained you, has given you, gives you, and will give you foods, fruits, meat, drinks with many variants, various kinds of fruits, thousands of kinds of fruits. Allah has created all transportation. Allah has created all kinds of buildings. Allah has created all kinds of entertainment. Allah has created you to be able to think, to calculate, and then to design in your head. And Allah, via you, through you, has made computers, handphones, motorcycles, bikes, bicycles, cars with many kinds of cars, from the most expensive until the cheapest cars, from the smallest car until the biggest cars. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard. Actually, Allah has already created everything on the earth, in the skies, and between the skies and the earth. Even Allah has created the universe. And then Allah has already given you fun through your wives, your husbands, your children, cute children, funny children, amusing children, chatting together, playing games together, laughing together, walking together, swimming together, going together for a drive, traveling around the world, visiting many countries, and then coming back in safety. Allah does that. Allah has been doing that for you. Allah loves you to give you protection from sickness, from disease when you are sleeping. Allah gives you protection through His angels. When an animal, a very dangerous animal, will enter your earlobe, your ear hole, your nose hole, your mouth hole when you are sleeping, you don't understand why, because you are just like dead people. You don't know. You are unconscious. You are fainted. You are like dead people. When you play game, Allah gives you fun in your heart. Situation in which you feel happy, you feel peaceful, you feel what you want to feel, laughing. Chasing one another, running one another, seeking and hide, contacting one another, and then you laughing, chatting and laughing, kidding, making jokes. When you are sick, doctors come to check you up. If Allah doesn't want to give him any knowledge about your disease, your sickness, the doctors, any doctor in the world cannot think. Allah gives you prescription, medicine, and then Allah cures you, heals you, gives you recovery, gives you back your health. Doctors cannot cure you. What doctors do? Doctors only look at you when you are sick, check you up, examine you, and then think what medicine they will give you. And then you go to apotheques or chemist, and then you buy them, or maybe you are given freely because you have already joined insurance company, or maybe you are hospitalized, taken care by nurses and doctors. But remember that the curer, the healer, the only one that gives you your health back is Allah. Why don't you look? Why don't you try to look around? See around, open your eyes around you. How many doctors have gone dead? How many doctors have died? They couldn't help themselves from the death. They couldn't make themselves healthy forever. They couldn't make themselves live long until 1,000 years. They couldn't even understand what sickness, what disease eats their bodies until their bodies become so weak and weaker, and the body just like bone and skin And then finally, they were dead. Their ages were finished. How many doctors become strokes, lame, walkless, powerless, speechless, earless, sightless, smellless, thingless, forgetful, didn't remember even themselves. This is the weakness, the condition of mankind. Mankind all over the world. Only Allah is most powerful, most knowing, most intelligent, inseparable. Great is Allah, holy is Allah. Only He, Allah Himself alone, has created you, has created the universe, the skies, the heaven, the hell, the moon, the sun, the sea, fishes, animals, all things are the creation of Allah. What for are mankind made? In this universe, on this earth, that mankind forget and don't want to know why they are in this world. They don't even want to know about the existence of mankind in this world for. They ignore this kind of life. They forget about the maker, the creator of themselves. What have you done so far? Have you known who Allah is? Have you worshipped Allah in the way Allah wants you to do? To follow Muhammad, the last messenger of Allah for all mankind, all human beings? Anybody who's ever heard about Muhammad are to be followers of Muhammad. Otherwise, they are called by Allah as unbelievers, reject Allah, ignore Allah, hate Allah, don't want to follow the rules of Allah. Allah is beginning everything, beginning creating, beginning sustaining, beginning protecting, beginning the universe, never ending, and Allah has never died, has never died, has never been buried, has never been tortured, has never been punished by anybody. Mankind is to be punished. Mankind is to worship Allah, the one that nobody can defeat Him. He will defeat everything and everybody who rebels Him. The death is a sign of the power of Allah. The sickness is the power of Allah. Disease, disaster, flood, mountain eruption, tsunami, earthquake, thunder, typhoon. Many disasters that mankind cannot stop, even professors, even doctors. A man with long study and has a lot of degrees cannot stop disaster, cannot stop himself to be dead. Brothers and my sisters, think about ourselves. Let's try to come back to be back to Allah. When we were souls there in the welfare warehouse, so-called nearby Allah, all souls were requested to pledge, "Hey, my souls, you are my slaves, you are my creation. You believe that I am your God? Yes, Allah, please witness that I will worship you, I will obey you. You are the one, no God but only you. You are most powerful. Witness that I believe in you." When we were souls, we sat like that together, and then Allah put one soul after another in the belly of a mother, and then we were born, babies, weak, powerless, only cried, sometimes silent, couldn't talk, couldn't speak a word, only cried and cried, because weak, so weak that we couldn't even walk. And then after we grow up, we become boys, we become girls, ladies and gentlemen, mature people, we rebel, we fight against Allah. We don't want even to know who Allah is. We only worship the world, worship money, worship traveling, worship landscape, worship scenery, worship mountains, snow. We only play games until we are dead and we don't know that the game you have been playing endangering your life after this life in the hereafter. My brothers and my sisters, our last Prophet Muhammad used to cry all night. Used to cry all night for us, so that we understand that this life is very, very dangerous. If you don't know who Allah is, if you don't know that Islam is the religion from Allah, the only religion decided by Allah for all mankind in this world, Muhammad was the last prophet for all mankind, for you and for me, for everybody. He used to worship Allah, he used to cry for us. He taught us to live happily, simply, in the way Muhammad was taught by Jibril from the lessons of Allah. Muhammad was not a killer. Muhammad was not a hater, but he was a lover to all mankind. He was the most loving man in this world. He didn't eat much, he didn't sleep much, until finally he persuaded us, mankind, to bear witness La ilaha illallah before they die, and then Allah will give them the heaven. My brothers and my sisters all over the world, our Prophet Muhammad used to stand in prayings, tahajjud. His heart, his chest was blowing, boiling like water, boiling water, full of crying and tears. fell down onto his beard. He used to bow, crying. He used to kiss the ground, crying. He prayed for us, Ya Allah, would you please not punish my people? Would you please not punish my people? Please guide them so that they understand that the life after the death is very, very dangerous for them if they don't know you. Please try to guide them. Anybody who wants to know even a little about you, guide them as soon as possible before the death comes to pick him up. And then his wife used to ask question, oh, Prophet Muhammad, why you stand? Why you bow? Why you kiss the ground to worship Allah so long time and you are crying? Why are you crying? You have already been forgiven. Your sin, your last sin, your future sin. Your last sin was already forgiven. And even when you are doing a sin, you are forgiven. Your sin will be forgiven by Allah. But why are you crying? Why you pray, stand long time, bow long time, and kissing the ground long time to worship Allah? And then Prophet Muhammad used to answer his wife's question, Aisha, don't you know that the life after the death is very, very dangerous? I prayed for my people so that Allah will love them, to give them guidance, because life ahead is very, very hard for them. I beg to Allah that before they die, they will be given guidance. And then I can be called as a thanking man. I don't think about myself, Aisha. I think about my people. I have seen the heaven, I have seen the hell. I have seen the happiness, enjoyment in the heaven, but on the other way around, I have seen the hell. What are in the hell, Aisha? So many women in the hell. And then Aisha used to cry together with our Prophet Muhammad. My brothers and my sisters, I keep talking about this because I have seen people dying in some conditions, in many conditions. I will tell you later in my videos. I will give them titles, successful people. But this time, I have to end my invitation to you. But my expectation that please try to keep watching my video and start thinking about this life. Use our heart, our senses, our brain to get close to Allah, our God. Muhammad was the last prophet of Allah for us. Let's begin worshipping Allah until we are dead, and Allah will give us the heaven. My brothers and my sisters, I am loving you and I keep loving you. I'm telling you nothing but the truth. This is a sign of my true love. the sign of my pure love. I don't expect anything. I don't want to be paid. I don't want to be given money. I don't expect any money from my videos. That is my worry. But this life, the day of judgment is coming closer. So before you die, please bear witness La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah when you are still alive after this confession. Try to study how to worship Allah 5 times a day. Do fasting 30 days in the fasting month. If you cannot stand fasting for 30 days, you begin 10 days, maybe less, and finally, if you have a strong will, you can stand fasting for 30 days. And then give some charity to the poor and go to Mecca and Medina for pilgrimage. These all commandments come from Allah, not from mankind, not from Muhammad himself. He was the prophet of Allah, the last messenger of Allah for us. My brothers and my sisters, I'm loving you. I'll see you again. I'm always loving you. You and your family. May Allah bless you all. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.